morning. I'm Alan Joins, Mayor of Winston-Salem, and what a fun, exciting, special day it is to be here at Happy Hill Park as we dedicate these wonderful improvements that have been made to this facility. This is the oldest neighborhood in Winston-Salem, and we're celebrating. Is that right, John Larson? Am I good with that? Other than Old Salem, of course. African-American neighborhood. A lot of history here, so many events have been held here. Just was reminiscing with Ben Pickett about all the many Happy Hill reunions that have been here, and one's going to occur later on today. This park was provided and was done with funds approved by the voters in the 2014 bond issue. And so today we're saying to the voters, thank you for your support and your encouragement in making this happen. We'll hear more about the specifics of what's been done here, but it doesn't take long just to look around and see the great work that's been done here. So this morning we're going to hear from, first of all, from our Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Denise Adams, followed by the East Ward Councilmember Annette Scipio, and then we have Councilmember Kevin Mundy and Councilmember John Larson here if they would like to say a word as well. So let me introduce our Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Adams.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So good to be here this morning in the Happy Hill. I'm Dee Dee Adams. When I was growing up, it was nothing, as some of you know that are out here, whether you lived in Happy Hill, Boston, Thurman, in the Castle Heights, Lakeside, Carver School Road area, or the South Side at Bellevue or anywhere else. We all were able at that time to go around town, and nobody really bothered anybody as long as you respected whatever side of town you were on. And if that meant not throwing down litter and tearing up the place and raising Cain, then you were well accepted. I would like to thank the citizens of Winston-Salem. In 2014, when the city council decided to do a bond referendum, we had to bring it to you first. We had to ask you first, what is it that you wanted? What is it that you needed? What is it that you wanted us to do? You responded, but we promised you, unlike other times when government had done this, we would do what you asked us to do, and we helped together prioritize those projects for various areas of the city. This was one of those projects. So as we wind down our 2014 completion of those bond projects, we will also continue to complete 2018. I know the Councilmember Scipio is very excited about it. I know it took a while, but if you don't believe in climate change now, you should, because it delayed a lot of our projects, whether it was flooding, whether it was snow. And there's another thing, if you don't believe in environmental change, when we start to dig for these projects around the city, once you dig, you find out that the ground is contaminated, and then it has to be remediated, and then we gotta wait, and it's just an endless cycle. But again, thank each and every one of you for being here this morning. I hope that even if you're not from Happy Hill, you will come and participate in this wonderful, wonderful park. And I want to thank staff. Mr. Royston is here. I want to thank Mr. Grant, who was our Recreation Center Director, that allowed us to complete. Hey, Tim. I also see Representative Amber Baker here. Good morning, Representative Baker. Want to thank all of you again for being here this morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the East Ward, where we soar on the winds of change. This is evidence of change. Happy Hill community, as the mayor said, was the oldest African-American community in our city. Started here on these hallowed grounds of the Schumann Plantation. 1854, he freed his slaves. And this became the location for many of those freed slaves, in addition to those who did go to Liberia, which was a very interesting thing at that time. But Happy Hill, this community, though it was the first African-American community, pretty much stayed the way it is now. Very few houses, of a little growth, The greatest change came when they did the Happy Hill apartments that were here in the 50s. But in terms of this area and the park, it's important to know that segregation created a lot of slow response to serving the needs of African Americans. The first playground for African Americans was at 14th Street in 1926. It was followed by Kimberly Park in 1927. And then Columbian Heights, which was another area, had a playground, and that was 1936. Now, Happy Hill, first community, still had no playgrounds, had no recreation. It was not until the 1942 that Happy Hill Center and playground was dedicated. Change does come, sometimes it's slow. So today, as we look at this beautiful park, we must celebrate our history, where we've come from, but more importantly, for the residents in this area and the residents in the city, we must use these facilities. They are here for the residents and others in our community to come and use this wonderful shelter, to use the splash park for the kids, to use the track for walking, and hopefully the field for soccer and football. There are more things to come, but it's a beginning. I welcome this change. I hope you all will welcome it and know that it's because of you, our citizens, and your taxes that made this possible. You really need to know that we strive really hard to use your tax dollars purposefully for the benefit of all of us. So as we look forward and go forward in the 21st century, let's use our facilities. These are wonderful facilities, and we really want all people to come and use it. Thank you.
Well, good morning, all. My name is John Larson. I am a council member from the South Ward, which is actually located just north of the East Ward here. So go figure that part out. This land that is now a wonderful park and facility, I'm going to go back even further than Dee Dee went and talk a little bit about how it sort of evolved through time. When the Moravians first settled the ridge line behind us as a town, this place, this low land behind me, which is the track as you walk it, was actually a campground, a gathering space for visitors who bring their wagons and stuff, the traders coming into Salem, and they would park on this low space near the creek. It provided water. It was a nice level space. There's actually a small spring that comes out of this woodland over here and goes into Salem Creek, and you can still see remnants of that. This woodland, interestingly enough, as you walk the track, you may encounter a deer. I was talking to Don here a minute ago, and he says he's seen deer and fox come out of this woodland. So you still got a little bit of that early 18th century landscape here in Salem. It's a wonderful park, and I've seen it evolve over time since I've come to Salem to probably the wonderful place that it is right now. And I'm very proud of the city, and I'm proud of the citizens that committed to making this sort of recreational space available, really in the heart of town. You're going to see a lot of people that are probably not residents of Happy Hill coming here because it's such a great place, a meeting place for common interest of exercise and fresh air and availability for recreation. So thank you all for coming out today, and thank you for voting for the bond.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kevin Mundy. I am the council member representing the Southwest Ward. It's great to see you all here, and it's great to see what's behind me here. For the last few years, I'd say 2 to 3 years, I've been bringing groups by doing community tours to get to know the community. And we generally stop at the rec center just across the street because it's a good halfway point and people have to run in and use the restroom. And we've just seen what looked like a big clay hole oftentimes over here, and you just can't envision when it's in process, what it's going to look like when it's through. But I think the end product is just beautiful, and I'm very happy for the citizens of Happy Hill and the surrounding area that they're going to have such a great facility here to enjoy on a regular basis. You know, we say Winston-Salem is a great place to live, work, and play. This is the play part. And you can't work all the time. We have to give you some recreational activities. Our Parks and Recreations Department does a great job of programming. There's a magazine called We Play. If you don't get this on a regular basis, find it, because it will tell you what's being programmed here at Happy Hills and everywhere else, all of the other rec centers. We try to do everything we can to make sure every age from cradle to grave has something to do, some place to play, and this is going to be a great place for this community. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, council members. Let me also recognize our city manager, Lee Garrity, is here. Assistant Manager Ben Rao is here, and our Assistant Manager Damon Duquesne is here, as well as other city staff, Meredith Martin and others. Glad to, Johnny Taylor, thank you for being here. Johnny keeps everything running and keeps it clean here. So, Mr. Royster, where did you go? Mr. Royston? William, I know you're not on the program, but would you come up just a minute and just say a quick word about what all the wonderful facilities are here, just real quickly?
Yes, sir. I apologize, Mayor. I was trying to solve several problems. How's everyone doing this morning? Good. As Councilman Money alluded to earlier, we take great pride in providing quality recreational facilities. I know that Happy Hill Park for a number of years was a place where the community came out. Everyone from different neighborhoods came out and enjoyed each other's company, enjoyed some good food. I think with the renovations that we've been able to complete here at Happy Hill, hopefully that will provide a much better facility for families to come out and enjoy, and for the communities to come out and celebrate each other. This is one of the bond projects from the 2014 GO bond referendum. It is one of the few projects that included almost an entire park renovation. It took a lot of work, took a lot of years. A lot of the vision and leadership in the initial stages started with Tim Grant. I'd like to take a minute and give him a round of applause in his support for this project. I'd like to also thank my Recreation and Parks Commission members. I'm not sure if any of them are here, as well as our engineering staff, who rarely get the recognition that they deserve, but they're the ones that are out here in the ground managing the project, managing the nuts and bolts of this, that helps us get to the point where we have a great quality park for the community to come out and enjoy. Thank you, council members. Thank you, Mayor, City Manager's Office, the Police Department, the Fire Department, everyone for coming out today and allowing us to be able to celebrate this ribbon cutting for this brand new wonderful facility. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. No, that's right.
Thank you, William. Well, certainly this is a historic area, no question. There are ties here to Liberia. Just down the way is Liberia Street. There's an honorary street named there for the president, former president of Liberia. So the next part of the program is going to be more traditional. I'm going to ask Ben Pickett, who's a long-time runner of the recreation program here, Maurice Johnson, Amatullah Salim, and Loretta Hatchett.
Habari Gani. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilman. That is a Swahili word for what's the do's, what's the day. You get to participate. I need all those people behind me. When I say Habari Gani, you say opening of Happy Hill Park. Habari Gani. Opening of Happy Hill Park. Habari Gani. Opening of Happy Hill Park. All right. Now, while we go, get a little shake, and then we go. Introducing Sister Amatullah Salim, President of the Happy Hill Association. Sister Loretta Hatchett, who is an outstanding member of Rising Ebenezer Baptist Church, and raised right here in Happy Hill. And behind me, Sister Maurice Pitts Johnson, carekeeper of the Happy Hill Cemetery, and her grandfather, Mr. Columbus Pitts. one of the landowners. Hey, hey! Also, in the line, we have another member of the Happy Hill Reunion Committee, and his name is Bishop Spearman. But we have another lady that comes up, Pastor Edith Jones, who is an advisor of the Happy Hill Community Association. Habari Ghani. All right, here we go. To the Creator, who makes all things great and small. In 1814, Moravian elders had Bethania's physician, Frederick Schumann, to relocate to Salem. Habari Ghani. All right. Schumann's plans were to set up his family, including his slaves, in the town of Salem, but it was not accepted. Habari Ghani. In December 1815, the church commissioned a two-story frame dwelling that was constructed to Dr. Schumann's specifications across Salem Creek. And then his slaves lived there as well. Habari Ghani. Dr. Schumann's household occupied the plantation across Salem Creek for 23 years. Habari Ghani. In 1836, near the end of his tenure, Dr. Schumann emancipated 17 of his slaves, subsidized their journey to the country of Liberia. Habari Ghani. In 1872, surveyors planted a portion of the former plantation to create the same. That same year, Ned Limley, Richard Sears, W.H. Wheeler, Martha Lindsay, Alias Bidding, and Clarissa Dearman purchased lots in Liberia from the Moravian Church. Habari Ghani. All right. Then finally, in 1874, residents called this area neighborhood of Happy Hill. Habari Ghani. Now, we're going to a solemn ceremony. We're going to lift up the ancestors. We're talking about deceased. We're talking about people who have changed Happy Hill. Now, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you an illustration, and you're going to follow me. When I say Mr. William C. Sims Sr., what you say, I say Ashe, which means amen. It's the same, I agree. And then Sister Amatala is going to pour a little of the water in there. So this is a chance for you and everybody to say a name. And we pour a little water to let the ancestors hear from heaven that we're talking about their land, Happy Hill. All right. Mr. William C. Sims Sr., Ashe. All right, people, say something. Ashe.
Columbus Pitts.
Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.
The Scott family.
Ashe.
Spillman's family.
Ashe.
Christopher Keller.
Ashe. 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 Ashe.
The Bailey family.
Ashe.
The Hatchett family.
Ashe. 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 Now, Ashe. Now, since we have said, Ashe. Now, since we have let the ancestors, we're going to pour to the north, to the east, to the west, and to the south. We all say together, Ashe. And we also like to give homage to those people that was here during 1994 through the first of all the reunions of Happy Hill. We give them homage. Ashe. All right, now it is time to display the colors. Time to display the colors. The colors are red, black, and green. Now, when I give the description and call out a color, that means that balloon's gonna go up. The red is for the blood of the ancestors from Happy Hill. Well, okay. The green is for the land of Happy Hill. The black is for the color of their skin of the Happy Hill. Ashe! Now to end this with everything we said from the residential council, from the Happy Hill Reunion Committee from 1994 to now, under the lockship of love, we all together now, Ben Pickett and William Rock being in 31 years, retired, right here, and I'm retired again. We're gonna do 7 Harambe. Harambe means we are all together. There's no little I's and no big U's. We're all together. We're all together. We're gonna do 7 Harambe. Here we go, like this. 1, Harambe, together. 2, Harambe 3, Harambe 4, Harambe 5, Harambe 6, Harambe 7, Harambe! That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Pickett, and all the participants in this part of the program. Certainly, our city has wonderful cultural legacy and history, and one of those, of course, is Maya Angelou, who was here and associated with Wake Forest with this community. So now we're going to hear a reading of one of her, I guess, most famous poems, Still I Rise, by Alice Bidding. Miss Bidding, thank you.
You may write me down in his story with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trot me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Just because I walk as if I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of waves. Just like hopes springing high. Still I rise. Yes. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head, lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness upset you? Does my laughter bother you? Why are you upset? Because when I laugh, You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your lies. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance as if I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of histories, shame, I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I burn the tides, leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gift that my ancestor Wade Benning Sr. and the rest of them gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so I rise. I rise. I rise.
Wow, thank you, Ms. Bidding. Amazing. We are now going to conclude our service before we do the ribbon cutting of a dedication statement by William Bidding, who is the deacon with Rising Ebenezer Church, which is just close by.
My sister just got through giving the poem, so I got to follow that act. That's all right. I'm here, as is written, to dedicate this park on this date as a deacon of Rising Ebenezer. But I dedicate it to all that are involved, all that have put forth their effort, their work. As you can see, we can move forward, and we will move forward. There's always a starting point. And this is where we're going to start from on this day, to come together to make this park a park that will be a part of our youth of tomorrow. We cannot live in the past with the old ideals, the old reasoning, the old facilities. Sometimes it's hard to go forward because in going forward, we have to let some things go. So on this day, in remembrance of my grandfather, who was instrumental in having the very first Happy Hill Park built in Happy Hill. You may question that, but get your history. Wade Benning was instrumental in having this park built. Having said that, I feel proud and honored to, on this day, dedicate this park, this facility, to all that are involved wherever you may be. As a member of Rising Ebenezer and being a resident of Happy Hill from 1947, we welcome each and every one of you, and we give you all the honor for those that have put forth your effort, your works. We see a finished product per se, but we don't know what work took place prior to this part coming forth. There are going to be some questions that are going to be asked. Why this? Why that? But let us just come together and move forward together. So at this time, I dedicate this park on this day. Let us all come together and give ourselves a hand clap. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bidding. Well said. Let me ask our city council if you would take your position behind the ribbon here. And I'm going to ask the other speakers to come up that participated in the program. Also, I wanted to recognize Chase Law, who is here right back there, for the president of the Winston-Salem Arts Council. Thank you for being here, and Katie Hall is here as well. So thank you, Chase, for coming. And Lee Garrity, come up here and help cut this ribbon. Tim Grant, come up here and cut this ribbon.
Okay, hang on.